get up and
Oh, I
start?
saw guys jumping on me, and I'm like, no. And they were shaking me and screaming, "You won the Derby, you won the Derby." And when they got me back on my feet, a couple guys knew my back was bad. They helped me get up gently, and then they pat me on the back, wanting to carry me down the tunnel. I said, "I can walk now, just get me up." So
Eric, I'm sure there's your phone blowing up. Is there one text in particular that really stood out? Yeah, I agree.
I'm still trying to go over about 150 I haven't seen. I did so many, I thought I got them all. Then this morning I looked and I didn't go far enough back. So I'm not going to single anybody out, but those of you that text me, especially all the guys I went to school with and grew up with, and my daughter sent me her name's Martha. Please put this out because I shouted out my son and she was so happy for him. But Martha left me a letter that I'm going to have printed out and framed from all the kids.
Eric, how do you describe cable networks TV, just that change? What is that like to experience?
Well, I've only had this happen one time before, and it wasn't under these good circumstances. So I'm so happy to be here with a bright, sunny day and everybody happy. So when I started training at 18, I never thought I'd be in a Derby. I watched it every year. I was never envious or jealous. I rooted for all the local guys that tried to win it, that I grew up with training. We were all the same age, and they all got here. They all had horses run well, and I was so happy for those guys. And just getting in the Derby to me was like a win, and I can't put into words how it feels, but I was so happy for my wife, my crew, and to have my dad beside me yesterday. That was the best part for me.
Do you ever imagine if you're on fire? Is this really going to be
No, I truthfully thought the day after the fire that all the stuff that I'd done over the years, and I'd been very successful for what we had started with, and I had this feeling that something was telling me and maybe it was time to take a break, or just it was telling me maybe it wasn't meant to be anymore. And I had some big time trainers, the guys that get talked to every day, send me texts and kind words and offering money and clients and horses to keep me in. And there's one, I'm not going to mention the name, but he's in California, and he told me, "Do not let this take you out." And between that and the kindness from everybody and my help, my help at that farm that went on the day after that tragedy and cleaned the stalls and fed the horses and went back to the track with the other horses that needed to be trained. We gave everyone one day, but that let me know I wasn't going to go out that way. I'd go out on my own terms, and it wasn't going to be because of a tragic accident. I've ridden Sonny for a little over a year and a half, and he doesn't ride these big tracks, but he's the same rider that these riders that big tracks are. He wins every race at the tracks he goes to. He wins all the stakes. He's the horse to beat most of the time, so he understands how I train, and he's a good rider. But I took this horse after the race at Keeneland, and I knew that I had something different with him, and I watched how he was training. I could see him, the way he moved. Everything was different. And my dad had some really good horses when I was growing up, so I'd been around some of them. And I told Sonny, I said, "Sonny, if you'll stick with me and make a couple trips where we may not run as good, and you're going to have to take off 5 or 6 winners to go ride a horse that's not going to hit the board probably," I said, "I'll keep you on all the way," and I said, "I'll let the world know who you are." And he said, "Dad, I'll do anything you want me to do." And I said, "We have to teach him. We have to teach him to be aggressive and not just go around there." And Sonny, each race, would come back and tell me, "He's getting there, he's getting there." And then in the Battaglia, when he got off, his eyes were big as silver dollars. He said, "He's got the fire. Now we just got to get in." And I said, "I didn't give you a very hard task, Sonny. You got the 20 hole in the Kentucky Derby. You only got to pass 19 horses. I know you can do it." And he did.
Was Rich Strike giving you any indications that he had anything
After that race, and his coach slicking down after that race. And when he got here and got back on the dirt off the Tapeta, his stride got better. He started getting stronger. He was getting more cocky. And when I worked him, he didn't need a workmate to go that fast. he worked that work alone, and we couldn't stop him after I think he pulled up 7 furlongs at 25 that day and still was trying to go. So I knew if he was really good enough, and that was the one test we needed, was is he good enough? He would show him he belonged. I never dreamed he'd be able to pass all the horses, but I knew that he would show him he belonged.
I mean, the Sonny's strategy yesterday in terms of getting him there, was that pretty much, textbook for him, kind of laying him back and then trying to get him, I guess he was, 15th after a mile?
Yeah. This horse breaks fine, but it takes him a little while to get going. And I told Sonny, I said, this is a blessing being on the 20 hole. You got a quarter mile to find your way over and save ground. And I said, then you'll have to find the seams. It's up to you and him if he is good enough. And that's how he'd ridden him in every race. And Sonny got me there, and then Sonny got us there yesterday. So great rider. The horse knows him. The horse trusts him. If Sonny pointed him somewhere, the horse will go. They're a tandem. Peter Pan, and hope that he ran well enough to go to the Belmont. So that we were going to leave tomorrow to New York and prep for Peter Pan. Yeah.
I mean, it's not common. Sense of obligation, I guess, if that's the right word. Do you feel to go to the Preakness?
Well, my obligation is to Rich Strike first, and if Richie's ready to go, and I think it's the right thing for him, we're going to go. But nothing against any of these Triple Crown races. I don't get these horses 10 or 12 a year to try to get one of them, and I need him around a long time. So as long as he's okay, and after a week I know that it's the right thing to do, we'll do it. And I want to go. That's naturally what we want to do. But I have to do what I've done from day one with this horse, and that's managing and take care of him, because he'll take care of the rest if I do.
Aaron, you may have been asked this yesterday, so I apologize. The pinky thing. What's the backstory with that?
When I went out to California to race against Zenyatta, Martha, my youngest daughter, painted my toenails gold. And she goes, "This is for good luck, Daddy." And it was really good luck. So anytime we ran in big races, we would do this, everybody involved, as a fun thing for Martha. And it's a catch. It's good luck.
Can I get a shot of your fingernails real quick, too?
I'm sure you answered how the horse is feeling. Any worse for the wear?
Now, he ate up everything by 10 o'clock last night. He was already wanting more, and he's walking sound. His legs look great. So no issues, no bumps, no bruises we can see right now. And I don't think he'd dropped much weight either. So we'll see how he is in the next few days. But no, he came out of the race in really good shape. Thank the Lord.
Eric, this is a sort of a loaded question for the Evansville market, but you didn't have him, but he did start out at Ellis Park. Does he
Yes.
come in on the two-year program there?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he started off there, and I guess it's my fortune that it was on the turf, and he must not have liked it, because we wouldn't have him if it wasn't for that.
But you said you had seen his works at Ellis.
Yes.
And that
Fantastic works, and the connections are good. Joey Sharp's a good trainer, and he ran him in a maiden special weight. They bet the horse a little bit. I think it was 4 or 5 to 1. So the barn thought he could run, and his works looked like he could run. And when you see him, he was just a specimen of a horse. So it was a big gamble. That it was the turf that made him run poorly, and we got lucky.
did you have to shake for him?
No, I have the original claim slip. I take a picture before I put it in the envelope to make sure there's no discrepancies or anything when the shake comes. And so I've got that screenshot. I pulled it up on my phone last night before I put it in the envelope and sealed it and dropped it. So I was like, wow, look at this. I'll put that under his win picture.